What's good, guys? It's the Henry Danger Movie 2025 recap. I got bad news. I couldn't watch the premieres, so I got a 9 minutes video of a recap of the movie that I'm about to watch with you. Fun fact: did you know this movie had 140,000 viewers on the premieres? But unfortunately, I wasn't part of that 140,000. But best chance, great news. I'm about to react on this video with you guys. So without further ado, let's start.
Is that my sister?
The film begins with some scientists carrying what seems to be a mysterious scientific object into
Well,
a
yo, why is
secluded
Papa a
area. They
vampire?
got to their destination and quickly placed the object in, but unknowingly for them, Henry had already bridged their security. While in the
Yo,
run,
what is that?
many security guards began to chase after him, but fortunately for Henry,
And no,
he
wait,
defeated them
why
all
is
to
this Henry
escape.
so short?
In a plot twist, we get to find out this perpetrator was never
Oh,
Henry,
no, it's not
but a
Henry.
young girl named Missy Martin. She eventually got home safely, and it was at this moment we
This girl, Missy, I think I've seen her somewhere. Maybe not in Henry Danger, but obviously one of the Nickelodeon series. So if you know where Nickelodeon, in which movie that you saw this girl, please tell me in the comment. Please, I will really appreciate it. I want to know because I think I've seen her before.
get to know that the device which she had stolen is a device mechanism that could alter reality and also even bring back the dead like Henry Hart. After which,
Really?
a voice began to narrate who Henry was, stating that Henry was just a boy who loved his job as Kid Danger, but his identity remained a secret and also kept Swellview safe as this was his and Ray dream. Although they had help along the way, as they met a bizarre genius named Schwarz, Henry best friend
Bro,
named
it's not
Jasper and
Schwarz, it's
Charlotte, and even
Schwarz.
Henry little sister called Piper.
Get the name right.
However, an incident occurred where Henry had no other options than to sacrifice himself to save Swellview. Although everyone thought he had died from that incident, so for him to be on his own, he let them think so. The scene then shifted to Jasper having a conversation with a young
Dystopia.
lady, Detective Jones, about Henry. In a brief
Yo,
moment, we get
Jasper
to
is
see
a
Henry
big boy,
preparing
bro.
himself.
Jasper
Back to
is a
Jasper, he
big
got approached
boy.
by Piper and Schwoz. Piper
Yo,
and Jasper
how
discuss
big
about
Piper
Henry,
has got
but
it?
just then Schwoz insisted
No,
that they all
yeah,
go
she
get
was still
Henry.
the same.
Immediately, Jasper
just a
informed
little
them about
old.
an impending mission ahead as Dystopia runs on nuclear power, so it buys fuel rods from other countries, and once the delivery trucks pass
Also,
right to them, the
surprisingly,
blackout plan
it's
is to destroy the
Jasper.
plutonium fuel rods.
How big he
Power.
has become.
Power, no lights.
Quickly, Schwoz realized that once it is destroyed, it will bring total darkness to the city. Meanwhile, Henry is in a press conference having an interview, but just then, the powers immediately...
Yo, Henry, also
Schwoz then
grown,
quickly
big boy,
began his
bro.
work while the truck approaches them. Once the truck was already close by, a mystery being known as Blackout arrived and immediately eliminated the driver.
Yeah, I
Before
remember
a battle
Blackout.
then broke out
Yeah,
between
also
Jasper
seen in
and the mystery
GTA,
man. This was
in
a long
Danger Force.
extended battle, but just then, Henry arrived at the scene also. The mystery being rushed to attack Henry,
Oh,
but he quickly
man,
dispatched him.
entrance.
Once the battle was over, he headed straight to Piper and Schwoz to greet them before he met with Jasper. Just as Henry leaves the scene, the mystery being appeared again, but this time, Henry gave it a brutal punch, sending it flying through the sky. After which, Jasper is furious at Henry as everyone think Henry is his boss, but just then, Henry informed Jasper that he is leaving. When Henry got home, he found his building in total mess. Unfortunately for him, the mystery being appeared yet again, and giving Henry a fatal kick which eventually pushed him, but just then Missy Martin uses the machine to teleport Henry to her universe. She informed Henry that he is now in Newtown, and she had just brought him from the dead. Henry still can't process all this, but just then, a little girl named Gemma badged in, so Henry ran straight to her while also begging for her help. Missy begged her sister not to inform their mom. Later on, Missy explained to Kid Danger how he landed in her room, as she had used the reality-altering device to bring him back to life, but just then, Henry informed her that he was never dead, and he had just planned all that story to fake his own death in order to live his life. This made Missy very furious, as she has always been sad about the news that her favorite superhero had died. Henry apologized about the whole scenarios, insisting that all he ever wanted was to protect his family and be himself, which is a lot easier if his enemy think he is dead. Immediately, Missy hugged him and asked about Jasper and Charlotte. Henry was shocked by this fact, but Missy quickly informed him that she even knows about his real identity. Later, Missy told Henry that she had brought him to her town in
I think
order
I
for them
saw
to
this
fight
girl
crime
in
together,
Thundermans.
stating that there is so much crime in Newtown. She went on to explain to Henry that most time, she and her little sister hardly make it home from school due to the crime rate. But unfortunately for Missy, Henry informed her that he has to get back to Dystopia as he also has a thing or two going on there. He requests that she send him back to Dystopia. So Missy prepared the reality-altering device, but just then, Henry heard a woman voice screaming for help. The two went to check it out, and we found out that Coach Craig was behind this. Henry isn't bothered by this as he kept on insisting that he need to get back to Dystopia. Although after a short conversation, Henry agreed to help out, but Missy requested to tag along. Henry got down, but Coach Craig
Yo,
brutally
why is he
beat him
beating
before
Henry like
insisting
that?
that Henry gives
Where
him
is his
20,000
superpowers?
push-up, which he did.
Bro,
Missy came
Henry
to his
is
rescue,
like
but yet
one
again,
of the
Henry requests
bro,
he would
like,
get back
one
home
of
to get
the
his superpowers.
most powerful
While
things
Missy was on it,
superheroes, bro.
Piper
Where
now
is
with
his
powers
superpowers?
arrived. So quickly, Missy uses the reality-altering device to teleport them. Unknowingly, Piper
Damn, I
had
don't
taken
get
what
it.
looks
Why
like the
is
key from
Piper
her.
a villain?
Afterwards, Henry and Missy arrived at a party where Missy narrates to Henry on how she made Piper evil in her story after Piper had long kicked her out of the Henry Danger fan group. At the same party, Henry found Piper at the event, but just then Missy realized something isn't right. A moment later, she and Henry began to drag the reality-altering device. Henry figured out that the device was put in story mode, so he told Missy to undo it, but she informed him that she has no idea on how to do that, because she stole the machine and didn't build it herself. Although she informed Henry that from her story, Henry isn't the superhero but a sidekick, and she had built in a partner for him aside from her. But this time his partner isn't with Captain Man but with Captain Stash, which has been portrayed by Jasper, and he can even fly, something Henry has always wanted as Kid Danger. Henry and Missy narrates the whole story to Piper and Jasper. However, Henry is of the opinion that every universe, there is always a Schwoz. Henry eventually found Schwoz washing a dish in a restaurant and doesn't seem to be interested in anything
Yo,
Henry
Schwoz.
once said.
There's something I don't get. Schwarz is like really intelligent. Schwarz can build anything. Just ask Schwarz and Schwarz will be able to build it for you. And why the heck in this universe Schwarz is working in the restaurant? I don't get it. Well, Claudian is it.
Although after much push from Henry, Schwoz agreed to help out. Just as he did so, a loud noise began and obviously it was Coach Craig behind it. Henry quickly transformed, but not with his traditional costume, which he doesn't like.
Yo,
Henry later approached
What is
Coach
this?
Craig and attacked him, but unfortunately, he got beaten badly. Jasper soon
Oh,
later
no.
came to his rescue. Schwoz informed them that he is done with the reality-altering device, but he also needed a crystal to make it work, but just then a young man arrived and began to drag the reality-altering device with them. As a result, teleport them to a different dimension. In this dimension, they are
now
all
why
in
they in
animated form.
cartoons?
Later, they all got back to Newtown, but sadly, Piper and Coach Craig appeared again quickly. Henry and Missy ran for safety but left their male friend behind, who in return got bitten by Piper, which then turned him into a vampire. Henry figured out that if they got bitten by any of the vampire, they will lose their mind and will remain in this alternate reality. Unfortunately for them, they got caught by Coach Craig. Piper then questioned them about the reality-altering device, which Missy replied, it takes them to Otherworld. Piper then saw this as an opportunity to conquer Moreworld. Piper then requested for the reality-altering device, but just then, Missy uses it to teleport Henry and her. In this universe, they met with Jasper and
Yo, wow,
immediately explained
this
to him
looks
about their
like-
situation.
Like
But in
old
this
age.
universe, there is a bigger problem at hand as some group of individuals are trying so hard to attack Jasper. So Henry and Jasper set a plan to attack them, which eventually worked successfully. Once they were done, Schwoz arrived and took him to where the reality-altering device was so he could work on it. Although, just then, they realized that the crystal is with Piper, and this was the reason the reality-altering device is in story mode. Immediately, Missy began to apologize to Henry, claiming she caused all this. Soon after, they all devised a plan to steal the crystal from Piper, but the bad side here is, if Piper eventually wins, she will use the device to go through multiple dimensions to conquer it. Although they all decided to go through with it and immediately, they got to Newtown, but unfortunately when they arrived, Piper was already with Missy little sister. Piper then sent her goons to attack them all, and immediately, a serious battle then ensues. Schwoz on the other hand began to work in accordance to their plans. While Jasper began to fight Coach Craig off, Henry and Missy got into the building where they found Piper. Immediately, Missy attacked Piper, but unfortunately for her, she got knocked out. A serious fight began with Henry and Piper, and this was a long battle. Just as they were fighting, Missy arrived and attacked Piper, giving them an opportunity to steal the crystal, but sadly, Missy got bitten by Piper. She gave Henry
No!
the crystal, and immediately
Missy is
began
going
to
to
have
turn
the
into
side
a
effects.
vampire.
Henry rushed out to pass the crystal to Schwoz while they fought
No,
off
no
the
way, no
vampires
way,
and
no way,
Coach
no
Craig.
way, no,
Piper
no
now
way.
realizing that her small team can't defeat Henry, then went ahead to bring more of her goons, but just then, Schwoz activated the reality-altering device, which eventually brought everyone back to their timeline. Later that evening, Henry met with Jasper to apologize for his behavior lately, while also thanking him for being a good friend.
Yo, who made this
He informed
recap?
him that he has
Now,
finally
I don't
decided
know
to
what
leave
happened to
Dystopia,
Missy.
but firstly, he needs to attack and finish off the mystery being from earlier named Blackout. Once they were done with the attack, Jasper Crush, Detective Jones, approached him to take pictures with him. Back to Missy, she is now happy with her life, but just then, some goons
Oh,
approach
okay,
her
so
for the
nothing
laptop,
happened
but
to
just as
Missy.
they did so, Henry arrived and defeated them. Jasper and Schwoz also approached Missy, making her really happy, after which, Henry took her on a flying trip. The scene then shifted to Henry and Missy fighting crime as now, Missy is now his new sidekick. It was at this moment Captain Man arrived. The movie then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more.
Yo, guys, I think Henry Danger is resurrecting, and maybe I think we're gonna have Captain Man, Henry Danger, and another superhero, Missy, Little Missy. And I have a great feeling for this because this will make a great teen series if they are able to resurrect it again.